Okay, so here's workspace, and I have one of these lap desks that I like to use. And you can almost see the whole thing in my filming area. That's about the size of it, so to speak. And this way, I just keep my work on it for a freeform project, and I rarely take it off of here. Sometimes I even like to use this little clip to keep the pattern stuck on there, because then the fabric will keep the pieces from sliding off if I'm sitting up in bed or something like that. So I like to keep it on here, because whatever you do with freeform, the one thing that you have to keep in mind is that you need to keep it on a flat surface, especially as you're making the scrumbles, to make sure that they're going to lay flat, because you're not following a pattern. You have to just make sure that as you continue to crochet, that you keep laying it down and making sure that it's flat. If it's curling up, you're going to have to add a few. If it starts to buckle, you're going to have to maybe frog out a little bit and stretch out some of your stitches. So the first thing you do is you just get a bunch of yarn that you like, and you sit around in your bed or in front of the TV or wherever it is that you are, and work on scrumbles, which are just little pieces. And then you decide what you're going to do with them. And I'm going to make another bag. Bags are the easiest thing to do, at least for me. So what you're going to need is your scrumbles. Most of the scrumbles were made with 4mm, and so for some of the pieces that I'm going to need to fill in, I'm going to use a 4mm crochet hook. I'm going to need a tapestry needle for show, because I'm going to be sewing a lot. Not my favorite, but it's just a necessary evil for this freeform. And then, of course, some scissors. So I'm going to move these things out of the way. The other thing you're going to need is the yarn pieces, the yarns that you used for making your scrumbles. Because if you didn't have enough, if you didn't leave enough of a tail, like here, I didn't think ahead, and I didn't leave enough of a tail to get this one sewn in. I'm going to need to get some of the yarn to sew it together. Also, you can't just leave big holes in your work, like right here. And so you're going to be needing some of the yarn that you've already been using to just fill in. You're just going to attach and fill in, and I will show you how to do that. And then first you start to attach them. Even attached a little butterfly on this one, can you see that? The butterfly. So this side I've already attached together. It's certainly not done, but it's something to work with. So I'm going to work with this on one side, and this is the other side of the bag. This side looks bigger. I'm probably going to use some of this side. Sorry, you can't see up there. Some of this piece as part of the side of the bag, and maybe some of this as part of the side of the bag. And one of the bags that I've done is here, and I think I've shown it to you on another video. So this would be like this side. I don't know why I just flipped it, but this would be like this side, and I sewed it together. And then this would be like this side, and you sew it together. And then once you have the two pieces, then you put it together as a bag. And I have this empty space right here in the middle, where I'm going to have something just single crocheted along the bottom, single or half double crocheted along the bottom to make a flat bottom to this. I did first of all get a pattern, something to kind of stay within the bounds of a template. It's just some fabric that I'm going to use to line the bag. A lot of these other ones, this one I didn't line. I just got a zipper bag and attached it to it. This one I thought I would use a liner, and then I have a lot of, I don't have any right in front of me, but the kangaroo keepers that have a structure to them, have all the pockets and everything. I really like to use those to take them from bag to bag, and so I used that to measure out this piece of fabric so that I have about I don't know, probably an extra inch all along the edge, so I know that I need to stay inside the lines so that I can stay within the confines of the purse that will fit my kangaroo keeper. So all of that put aside, then we need to do, the hardest thing to do for me anyway, is to just jump in and start sewing something together. So what I'm going to do is, see all this? I have a couple of pieces that have a long tail already on them. So I'm just going to grab one of these, and I know that I want to put that here. I know it's the same color against here, but I may end up putting some, I know I'll end up putting some sort of top stitching on. Anyway, I'll show you how I just start. How about that? So here's this tail, and I'm going to put this right here. So I'm going to start attaching it right here and go as far as I can, and then so attach here and then continue using this this tail to attach this. And so I'm going to overlap a little bit. You can overlap if you want, or you can leave a few holes because you like your lining, or you can leave some holes that you go back in and you fill in. It's freeform. It's totally free for you to do what you would like to do. So I'm going to thread my tapestry needle here, and I'm going to take this right here and fold it. Well, I better get my yarn on the right side. Some lint on it. I'm going to take this, because it's not completely on the edge there, on the mid section there. So I'm going to pick it up where it was, fold it over, nice little sandwich. And now I'm going to, so the right sides are touching each other. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, where did I say I was going to go that way? So I'm going to start attaching this flower to this half moon piece. Now what I want to do, this is the same color of both of them, and so it's not a big deal to have it show. But a lot of times what I like to do is to take, instead of taking like this stitch that's right on the edge, which probably would still be safe to do, if I was wanting to hide this because I had a green or something, I don't want to see a bunch of green coming up on this half moon. So I would want to take, instead of this whole stitch, I'm going to take not just one, I want it to be sturdy. I'm going to take one of this is a, what is that? A box stitch. I'm going to take one thread from the box stitch and one from that stitch, and then here's a stitch on the flower and go under one of the back loops. So straight through the center of the stitch and through the back. Kind of like you're doing like a, but it's not, a mattress stitch, you know, and you go through the center of the stitches. But so there we go. And you want to keep it pretty tight so that they'll stay snug together on your purse or bag or garment or whatever it is that you're doing this for. I try to get 2 threads from each piece if I can, and then just keep going. I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to check one more stitch, and then I'm going to check and see where I am as far as the big picture and see if I need to switch over. So this goes right there. So this is stitching here. That's going to go there. I'm going to overlap this flower on top of this circle, and this circle on top of this half moon. Alright? So I'm getting to the point where I like to go like a stitch sooner than I think I need to, because then it kind of pulls it in. So now I'm going to take a stitch from here, so one down in the box stitch, and just one thread from the stitch itself. And now we're going to come up, so it's going to go like this, and like this, and like this. So if I take from this petal the back of the stitch up through the center of the stitch, now I've attached that. And now I'm going to continue going with these two. Oopsie. I'm stuck in the wrong place. So I'm going to push it back down to the top, back down to the back, pull it snug, fold this over, pick this up, and I'm going to continue on for another, I don't know, less than an inch before I lay it back down. So what I just did was connect this circle to the half moon. So I'm going to go, so I came up the circle, so I'm going to go back down the circle from that back loop. Well, no, here's the back loop, but it's that back hump. And I'm going to go through the center of the stitch, and then go through the center of this stitch on the half moon and grab another yarn at the back. Pull it snug. I'm going to come back from the back here. And I think when I was showing you the little flower, I think I was just doing a little basting stitch, but now I'm going back and forth. Less of a chance for it to show through the front. So again, through the back of the stitch, there's that back loop, back loop, up through the center of the stitch, up into the center of this stitch, and grab another piece of yarn. Now I'm going to lay it back down, and I said what did I say? That this was going to, well, it's not. So that's what happens. So this is going to stay right next to it, because you can kind of form it along the side. So this is not going to overlap this. This is obviously overlapping that one. And so I've still got till the middle of this. Oh my gosh, you can't see hardly anything what I say. The middle of this petal. Right? So I'm going to continue stitching from where I am to the middle of this petal, where I am on that half moon. You guys, this sounds so much more confusing because you can't really see what I'm doing than it really is. You're just stitching it together any which way you can. Any which way you can. And then if it doesn't look right when you lay it back down, you just take the stitches out and you start again. And I've learned a lot just from restitching things. Or going, oh, that's not what I meant to do, but oh, how good that looks. So I'm almost to the center of this petal. And I'm going that back loop and the back loop, and then through the center of the stitch and the half moon and down to another thread. And I'm just going back and forth. Now I'm to the center of that petal. And now I need to continue, and this one has its own thread though. I'm going to continue to, I'm going to continue to attach this little leaf part to this half moon, because that's going to go right there. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use the rest of this to attach the leaf part to this, because this leaf part I thought ahead and left a tail. So I can string that across the back and then do that side. So for this, it's right in the corner that you want this tip to be, right? It's right in that corner. And if I put it underneath here, then you lose kind of the leafy ends. So I'm going to try to keep the leafy ends and get some of that yarn out of there. So I'm going to take the end of this is the very tip, and go through the end here and just attach it to that center. See how it pulls nicely right in there? And then I'm going to go back down on the green, and I'm going to attach it to the next stitch. Go down the center of the stitch and go out the back loop. So I'm through to, so I've got the center of the stitch, one thread, and then the back loop is the second thread. Pull it through that. Tail I never weaved in. Where'd it go? Alright, so you can see the stitch. So we want to make sure that we keep it taut. Keep it tight in there. So I've gone down on this circle one, so I'm going to come back up in the back loop, and then up through the middle, so through the back loop, back, and the back loop. You guys are getting that. And then I'm going to go through the back of this tip of the next tip of the leaf, and go through a couple of threads and pull that. Okay, so here we are right now. Here we are right now. And I want to make sure that these tips stay on the top of here. So I'm going to now start to with this next leaf point, I'm going to go through the top part of the stitch of the circle after I get down there. So I've come up here, so I'm going to go down this stitch in the green through the center of the stitch, get the back loop and the back loop, pull through there, pull through the next loop, the next stitch, there. Now I want this piece of the leaf to be on top. So now I'm going to go under here. I'm going to hide my stitch a little bit. This is much lighter than the pink that's actually on the piece. And then go through the top. Go through the top of this stitch. And then through the back of this leaf. Through a couple of stitches. See how this is coming over? I'm back there a little bit further. And by doing that, I keep the tip up here. Okay? So I'm going to do that again over here. And then I'm going to come back with this extra long tail, and I'm going to thread it through the back. I'm not just going to leave it. I'm going to thread it through the back. Can't see it on the front. And then attach this down the same way with these the tips of this leaf up on top of that half circle. And then continue to attach some more of these. And I'll be back to show you where I am. One more tip of the trade that I wanted to share with you before I forgot, before I got too far, is the rule of 3 when you're working with the colors. And since we're working with a purse, with a bag, we actually have 2 different sides, so it should pertain to each side. I haven't done a great job with it, but this is what I mean by that. Like this light pink. You should have 3 things with this light pink. So I have a border with it. If I have 1, 2, and another border, so that's 3. With this green, I only have 2, and so I may want to add a little bit, another piece with the green. With this, I've got this boucle yarn that I used here, down here on this lark's foot, and then over here on this flower. So if we look at the whole piece, I've got the 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then with this multicolored yarn, I have the 1, 2, 3. So I have it covered throughout the whole purse, but once I finish and I have the 2 sides, I'm going to need to do some top stitching, maybe do some top stitching of this green over here, or something to add a 3rd. And it just helps with the balance of it, as long as there's 3 of each. It's the rule of 3. And so I did not follow very well. So over here, though, I do have green, green, green. All right, so I've been working on the bag, on the freeform bag, and I got a little bit further. And I've been working on this side that was already put together and started the border that will be the edges of the purse. And I've got this side all sewn together, so it's one piece of fabric. And then I was looking at it, and what I saw was this is a heart, this is a heart, and they're kind of upside down because this is the bottom of the purse, this is the top of the purse because it's folded over. And this leaf, it kind of looks like a heart, and so I've decided to flip it. So this nice little, mostly straight edges is going to be the top of the purse. So there's a little bit more work to do to get this this straight, like this one is, so that I have something to attach the bottom of the purse. So what I did here, let me catch up a little bit. What I did here was I started over on this side with a single crochet, because this is like a leaf that's a heart shape, so we have the top of the leaf here. So I started with a single crochet, single, and then I did a half double, and then I did kind of a spike down into the center here of a double, and then a half double, and then a single, half double. Then I did a double here, and then I did 2 doubles together, like a double crochet decrease, because when you're going down into these crevices here, into these dips, you've got to do decreases in order to hold, keep the finished object a straight line. So I put those together, and then I did just some singles. Did some half doubles across here, and then again here, coming into this dip, I did a 2 together here, and then I did 2 together here of double crochets. And yeah, you can't really see it, but it did a 2 double crochet decrease. and then a half double, and then a half double decrease in order to come out of the dip. And then did some singles, again, across, all the way across, and just made that straight. It didn't start off very straight. I made it straight. This one is a little bit bumpy right here, but anyway, I made that straight. And then I just turned, because I want to have this bottom part is the bottom of the bag. So I'm going to make it flat and then fold it up. And so what I did right here on this side, I started down here. I didn't start on the edge because this is such a deep dip, that I started about right here and did a half double, then a half double two together, and then a double, and then 3 doubles together. So a decrease of double crochet 3 together, and then 2 half double, and then half double, no, then a single, and then I turned and went back with half doubles and then singles up to here, and then I turned and I did singles, half doubles, doubles, half doubles, singles, trying to get this straightened out. And you can't always get it straightened out on the first time. You rarely can. So don't try to. Don't try to put trebles in here, or you'll end up with some larger holes in your bag than you're wanting to. So it's okay if you continue to have a little bit of a dip. Then on the next row, you just have the shorter stitches and make some longer stitches here, and you finally end up with a fairly straight line. So I went back and forth, and finally then this row went all the way to the edge. This is the top of the bag. And then I turned and did double crochet across to here. Now I stopped here because when I put it together, I'm going to do that. So I want it to be about the same height to put it together like that, so that I can continue to work with this as a flat piece. That's kind of important to me, to keep it as a flat piece. Now this side is a little bit longer, a little bit wider, I should say. So here we have the edge of the purse. So this is the length of the purse, this bottom row here. This border here is the bottom of the purse. So it's the length of the purse. That's the length of this piece. Y'all can say. It's the length of this piece. So what I'm going to need to do when I do the border over here is to do just like come up here, build this up, build it to a corner, and then do some half doubles, or doubles and then half doubles and then singles, and then just do barely a single crochet down here, and then build into that bit, and probably have to go back and forth before I finish this row, this edge. So this edge right here is just going to be a single. Also, this is just going to be a single. I'm going to start, and I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to start in this dip and then go back and forth, and then I'm going to build up from here and then build to there. So this side is going to be a little bit deeper than this side, than the other side. So I may have to end up adding another row over there. So I'm thinking out loud with you guys. I hope that doesn't confuse you. So, but that's what freeform is. So, where'd I put my head? Okay, so I've been using gray. I decided on gray as my border color to pull it all together. So let me make sure that I have all. So I'm just going to start again with a slip stitch, and I'm going to start right here. So I'm going to pick this up, and I'm going to start in this point, And so where I'm going to start, and what I like to do, I don't know if you notice here, you can see the front loop I left, and when I was crocheting in the back loop and the back loop, so that it gives it more more strength. Excuse me. If I only did back loop, if I did back loop only, then I'm afraid that it would pull too much, especially since this is the bottom of the bag. And so I did back loop and back loop. And so there are still two strands of yarn that are in each stitch. Always, when I put these things together for a bag, I almost always grab two strands of yarn in my stitch. So, what did I say I was doing? This right here. And I was like this. Okay, so I'm going to start where I think, so I'm going to end up having to put some doubles in here and probably 3 doubles together. So I'm going to start over here. I'm going to start right here just because it looks good. Oops. And go into the center of the stitch, go to the back loop and through the back loop, that black bar. It almost looks like a stitch right there. But I went through the center of the stitch and I'm leaving that front loop free so that it maintains some of the shape of these scrumbles, maintain their shape a little bit better if you leave more of the outline of the borders to be seen, to see the stitches. So I just did a single crochet, and that's called a freestanding single crochet. I just pulled it through and pulled it through. And now I'm going to do a half double into this one, go through the back loop and the back loop. And now I'm going to do 1 double through the back loop and the back loop, if I can get it in there. There's some knots back here. Just going to do a double. And now I'm going to do 3 doubles together. So I yarn over, I go into the back loop, back loop, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull through 2, and hang on, yarn over, go into the next stitch, the back loop and the back loop, and pull it up and yarn over and pull through 2 and hold. And now I'm going to grab the green. Yarn over, go in the back loop and the back loop, yarn over, pull it through, pull through 2. Now I've got 4 loops on the hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 4. So what I've done there is to pull this dip, it was a pretty big dip, into line. And so I'm going to do another double crochet in the next stitch on the green, in the back loop and the back loop, and see where it's sitting. Is it sitting flat? It's sitting pretty flat. And so I'm going to continue on without any other decreases, I think, over to here, to the end here. I'm not going to continue to the edge of the border, because then I won't have the 2 pieces to fold together to make a corner of the purse. So in order to make a corner on a flat piece, you're going to have to make, like I did here, the 2 corners not yet put together, right? So I'm going to leave it like that. So I'm going to continue over. I'm going to do another double crochet. And I've been sewing in my tail back there. You don't have to. I'm going to stop actually now. I'm going to pull it a little bit and then stop. Another double in the back loop. Make sure I get some other loop back there. And now I'm going to do how far am I? You see the height right here? I want to go straight across, so I'm going to do half doubles for the rest. Here. In the back loop in the back, half. And sometimes you just gotta grab another strand of yarn back there that I don't even know what it belongs to. But you go into the back loop of the stitch and then grab something else at the back to give it some more sturdiness, some more strength. Usually you can find the back of the stitch, especially if it's a half double or a double, then they're a lot easier to find than on a single crochet. The back loop. Say that and then I can't find it. So I'm doing half doubles, and then here's the last stitch. So I'm going to go in here, do a half double. That's the last stitch, so I'm going to build this up. I'm going to build it up. So if I lay it down, because we always work on flat surface when we're doing our free form, if I lay it down, this is going to be the edge of the purse, and so there's a lot of depth here that I need to fill in. So I'm going to go back and forth a couple times before I get to this edge. So I'm going to come back with a double and again with a double. So I'm going to turn, I'm going to chain one and turn. So I'm on the back side. I'm going to do double crochet starting in the very first one, if I can. Doubles. Some more yarn. Doubles. And I think I'm going to take a walk a little bit onto the pink on this row before I turn. I think. Let's look and see. Doubles. Yeah, you see how this comes up a little bit right there? So I'm going to do actually two together. This is where I had my knot, where I knotted it on. And so I'm going to do two doubles together, a decrease. So I'm going to yarn over, go into this last real gray stitch, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, and go into, let's see, this same pink stitch where I had made the knot, and that kind of pulls it together and makes it so there's not a hole there. So the first row started in this pink stitch and I went down this way, and then I turned and I came back, and then this two together, the double crochet two together, I went into the single crochet and into that first pink stitch that I started my knot on. And now I'm going to do half doubles because it's starting to incline. And then I'm going to do a single and then chain one and turn. Because, as you can see, I still need to do another double and then come back with a double and then do a half double and then do singles. So I'll show you that. So I chained one and I turned. I'm going to do a half double here, make it an easier transition onto the pink there, and a half double here, and then doubles. Yes, I do make it up as I go along. No, I don't have a pattern that I'm doing this from. This is just from playing around and experimenting. So sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. And the great thing about crochet is that when it doesn't, you just frog it. And if you're doing little piecemeal at a time, then it's not a whole lot that you're frogging. It's not a big deal. Or what you do is not what you intended, but it's just fine. And you find another path. So is that the last one? No, there's one more stitch here. It's always a long V. If you only do one chain and then do a double crochet, that last double crochet has this really long V coming up from the chain one. So it's that long V I'm going to go into and do a double crochet. Now I'm going to do double crochets coming back. Looks like I'm going to have to change to half here and then go back into doubles here. Chain one, turn, double into the first stitch, double along here, and as I come up, make sure I keep this flat here. It's starting to take an incline here. Is it? Is it not? It's not. So I'm going to continue. Saw that. With some more doubles till I get to like the last couple. Okay, so I've got 3 left here. I'm going to do a double crochet, then I'm going to do a half double here, and then I'm going to jump. So I'm going to do a single attached to a double decrease. So I'm not yarning over. I'm going into this last gray stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, go into the same pink stitch, yarn over, come through, and now I'm just going to pull it through all of those. So it's like it was a single crochet and a half double crochet, 2 together. I'm just going to pull it all through. I don't even know if that's a thing. I do it sometimes. And then I'm going to do half double here and a half double here. When I do 2 half doubles together, I only yarn over once, otherwise it gets bulky. You still get the same height. So I yarn over, go into this stitch, yarn over, pull through. It's a half double, so I'm not going to pull through 2 first. And I'm not going to yarn over again. I'm just going to go into the next stitch, grab the yarn, pull it through. Now I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 4 that are on the hook. Okay? And now I'm going to do another half double here, half double here. And now I'm going to do singles to the corner. Whatever a corner is, whatever you want to call a corner. Let's see where it's going to be, about right there. I'm going to do 2 more because we're still going to need to do something along the top here, some kind of border. So here I'm on the back side, but if I flip it over and look at it, that out of the way. We'll look at it like this. There. So we've got the side, and we've got this side. This side, because the piece stuck out so far, all I did was a single crochet, just so that I have something that's pretty solid to attach to when I decide how to do the sides. Now, if this is the side, right here is the bottom. So it's going to go like this, and it doesn't match up perfectly, so I may have to make up for it along the bottom here on the other side. But as you'll notice, this folds over, but so does that. So the front of the purse, or back of the side of one side of the purse, is going to look like this, and then on the edge, we're going to have this going across the side. I think that's kind of cool. So it doesn't have to fit all on the front. Sometimes that's what you have. And since I'm working with this template, and this is the lining template, which means I need to stay within about 1 inch of the edge, then that's what I need to do, is to have some of these scrumbles be part of the edge side. So that's what I'm doing. And did I bring it? I didn't bring it again. So I'm going to continue on with this and show you this piece. It's all put together, and I'm going to do the little fill in the V's with the double crochets 2 or 3 together, and go back and forth, and then go. You don't have to start at an edge. If it looks like here, I'm going to need to start like right. There you go. Here, I'm going to need to start like right here, and come over, and then go back over, go a little further, and then come back over, and then come back over, and then go across. And then I'm going to need to do something here coming down in. I may have to cut and start over, or I may need to just go in and do some double crochets together, and then come back up and join back up and come over here and do the same thing. And then this is just going to be single crochet across at this tip and this tip, single crochet across till I get to the corner. And then I'll see, is this confusing you? Wow, it just confused me. Because this is the bottom. So this is the bottom. So I'm going to need to go from here down to here. And then this is going to be part of the edge as well as this being part of the edge. So I'm just going to come down to here and make all of that part of the bottom. And so I'll show you and then once I have these 2 pieces, then we're just going to connect them. We're just going to put right side to right side, and then either stitch or slip stitch the 2 together, so that you have a wider, a double wide bottom from what we have here. And I'll show you what I have. Alright, so here's the piece that's done before the final assembly. So what I did mostly on this side, in adding some top stitching right here to add some of this color, because remember I said the rule of 3, you want to have 3 of each, and this was the side that needed it the most, and I added, so I only had 2 of the green, and so I added the green outline on this heart, so you can see that it's another heart. Phew. But over here I didn't do any additional top stitching that wasn't already there from the original scrumbles. And so this is going to be the bottom, and this is going to be the top, and that's going to be the top. And I decided this one kind of evened out itself. I didn't make it flat, it kind of came out that way. And this one did not, and I just left it that way. So we'll see what it looks like when it's finished. And I'm going to put up on the top right here a link to a video I have out there that shows you how to do the liner. So I won't spend time doing that. And I'm going to put this together, and I'll show you a picture at the end of what the whole bag looks like. Okay? Thank you. Thank you for your time. I hope you learned some stuff, and I hope it was enjoyable. And remember, you always have a choice, so please choose happy. Okay, we'll see you next time. Bye.